Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones.
Hey, good day, good people. Oh, if y'all don't know what this is Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Hey, oh man, it's a vibe. I'm starting off with Braylon. This right here is called Do Over. Cause it's a vibe. Go ahead and stream this one. This is out there. Shouts out to Braylon. Woo! Shouts out to Braylon. That's called Do Over. Yes, yes, yes. It's a vibe, it's an energy, and it just feels good. It's your boy, G Dash Jones. If y'all don't know what we doing, this is Hats Off with your boy, G Dash Jones. Oh man. Today's episode, I got the management extraordinaire. Okay. I like to think of him as the philanthropic event curator. Like he can put some beautiful things together that also just feel good to the people. So that's a fact. Oh man, that's my man. He's also the CEO of 3G Management, also a prominent member of the Delaware Music Network. That's it. Listen, so I'm bringing my man Shannon Lolley up. We gonna chop it up. Also, just to let y'all know some things. By the way, I just did a hat tip where I did a recap of some of the local things that's happened, some of the things that's popped off with the G Dash flair. So that hat tip is available for the world on YouTube/G Dash Jones. That's a fact. So YouTube/G Dash Jones. Go and check out the hat tip as well as all previous Hats Off episodes. It's also on Facebook. I'll be posting those bi-weekly. Also, just so you know, tomorrow I'll be posting out my G Dash options, so you'll learn the outside options for the next week or so. I do those every week. Let the world know what's going on. If you would like me to promote your event or your circumstance, let me know. Please reach out to me, and I can let the world know what you got going on. We can talk about it, see how we can all win. Again, I'm G Dash Jones. This is Hats Off, where I interview somebody who got the world in the chokehold. Okay, it's not that violent. It's not that violent, but that is how this interview is going to work. How this interview is going to work. People who got things moving and shaking, and I do a hat tip where we recap it all, and I release G Dash's options where I tell you the things that are coming up in the form of a poem. So, in November 18th, what's the people thinking? That's me, my man D Harv. Ooh, we putting on a show like none other. I got the spoken word. I'm gonna take you through a journey with my spoken word and his music that's going to blend in with the band Harvey Road, creating an atmosphere like none other. Like, it's going to hit your soul. You're going to feel good, okay? You're going to dance a little bit. You're going to be bopping, right? Listen, we got the deluxe situation. The deluxe situation going to have the food by Chef Rail, the cuisine sponsor, Rhythm and Heat, going to have the seasonings on it. It's going to be delicious, right? We're going to have a deluxe libation. What? Deluxe libation. That's how you guys say it. I don't know why. And also an infused edible just to get you in your groove while you're there. Shouts out to Icebox Limited. They'll be in the building. Rum Cake Universe will be in the building November 18th. I suggest you treat yourself and you in D Hub. What's the people thinking? Improv experience. Absolutely. Now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome you and introduce you all to the man, the myth, the legend. He goes by the name of Shannon Lolley.
Oh, what's going on, G?
What's good with you?
Man, nothing, man. Just glad to be here, man. Really, really glad to be here. So, looking forward to tonight, man. Be able to share with the people, man. And I appreciate what you're doing, man.
All right. All right. Well, let's roll off into it. I appreciate what you do. Let's tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, born and raised Wilmington, Delaware, from the east side of Wilmington. I had to do that. Got to give a shout out to the east side of Wilmington. A lover of music, lover of people, a father. What else? Man, just overall good person, just trying to make everybody better through music and the arts, man. That's it.
Yo, real talk. One of my favorite things about how you kind of move around is that you're such like an inspirational type of cat with, while helping people to move through and still letting them be them. And that makes me curious. How did you even get into this artist management space? Like I've never heard that stuff.
Oh wow. So, you know, let me back up. So, pretty much growing up in church boy all day. Um, my church used to handle some very huge like conferences. Like we had everybody major on the gospel scene. I mean, anybody at that time that was hot. Kirk Franklin's guys property. Yeah, anyway, so I was responsible for helping out with the booking of these artists and just understanding the back end of the music industry of like how you do the booking, how you had the contracts, how you had the writers, and different things like that. So kind of fell in love with the back end. I come from a musical family. My father is a musician. Uh, Two of my brothers are musicians. Sang a little bit. One of my brothers sings as well. So just coming from a musical family, being around music all my life, so kind of like fell into the love of music. Um, a friend of mine, we actually started a management group, and we managed some artists from Philly who actually got signed to a major label. Kind of fell into the thing once they got signed. They wanted them to get a more established management company. They didn't want a grassroots. They didn't want a startup. So they had to actually sign to a larger management firm. So what I did at that time, it was I said, you know what, I'm not doing management no more. I'm not doing this. Like,
It's over it.
it was that early heartbreak. So what I started doing is just all Christian management at first. When I first started, so I had hip hop groups, I had all kinds of me traveling down the East Coast, da 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 da. So maybe around 2010, 11, I just started just this. I kind of ex the Christian music management strictly and just wanted to just do straight management. So, you know what I mean? So it wasn't denouncing my faith. It was just like, this is a business. I had more opportunities to do stuff when I just broadened out the spectrum a little bit. So that's how I kind of like started doing it. You know what I mean? I'm here today now because, just falling in love with it. Um, just falling in love to see people's dreams come true and kind of like my background with, even with my schooling, I went to school for management. Um, I work in management during my day job. I manage people. I know how to keep things together. So it's like, that's what I do as far as the music is concerned. So that's how I kind of got into the management piece of it, though.
So two things I gotta ask is a, if you can't, I understand, but can you tell us who was the artist that jumped into the major?
Oh, so he was a instrumentalist. And I hate the name drop. His name is Jeff Bradshaw.
Okay,
He played the
okay.
trombone. He's a trombonist. Y'all can look him up. He played for everybody from Michael Jackson's Butterflies. Any artist, he's a standing member of Fatback Taffy, which was Jill Scott's band at the time. So I did a lot of stuff in Philly, up at Zanzibar Blue, Warm Daddies, jazz festivals, and things like that. So, it was a good experience. I met a lot of people, a lot of major people, and things like that. So, again, and I don't think it was intentional of how things went down, but that's what it was. That's the nature of the business. So, yeah.
That's a fact. Okay, cool. And the other thing I have to ask you, just because this gentleman is in this journey, and I felt like I know you learned a lot from him and while working with him. So can you tell us a little bit about? And I know I ain't put it on the list, but I ain't think about it. Can you tell us about a little bit about your journey with rest in peace, Mr. TC?
Oh, wow. So, TC, Thomas Clay.
I had to ask you about that. Like I was like, wait, I know.
So, Thomas Clay, man, let me tell you, hands down, one of the most creative people I have ever come in contact with in my life. So TC, that's my bro. That was my bro. New TC, a little younger than me. So TC, I know TC. He was a jokester, man. He's like, bro, when you gonna manage me? When are you gonna manage me? I was like, man, okay. When you ever get ready, let me know. But he's such a jokester. So when he finally did get around to being serious, I never forget our first show he did. He packed the venue out. Like when I say standing room only, it was crazy, and it was up from there. So, just, again, him just having that passion and for music and just being creative. So anybody know him, he was a beast. There would never be another Thomas T.C. Clay at all. People try to duplicate his sound. they can't do it. He was the. I mean, I managed some people, man, but he was the most creative person that I ever honestly came in contact with, as far as on the musical level. And people, because he was a jokester, they didn't respect his craft until he got to a certain level, and then under his unfortunate passing. So rest in peace, Thomas Clay.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, and rest in peace to him. The reason why I actually even brought him up, and what made me think the most about him is me and you have talked before, and there's times when artists have to have the heart to go in, and you told me where you was like, wait, you signed up for what? You be like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Do you know how to do that? Okay, the next thing you know, and what makes me curious is as a manager, when you got to roll with the punches for somebody who is so creative and has so much musical heart that they ready to step out anywhere and do anything. What's that like to try to manage that?
oh my God, it's really, and that's my job. I don't never want to stop creativity. I don't want to stop their drive, but we also got to make realistic goals. You know what I mean? We got to, you know what I mean. So without that, without stopping it, you just kind of like giving the potential roadblocks or the potential things that may happen, or have you considered this first? You know what I mean? So it's just like kind of a lot of artists and a lot of creators are just tunnel vision. They see one thing only. That's all they see, but they don't see something coming from the right, from the left, and back of them. So that's my job as manager to kind of like, okay, kind of like not slow them down, just to cause them to think outside the box. I tell people that's what advice is. Not for me to tell you or dictate to you what you need to do, but the advice that I give you, I want you to, it calls you to think outside of your square. So maybe what Shannon said is right. We'll give it to some consideration. I've had some artists that took the advice and still did what they wanted to do, but they had to come back and like, you know what, I should have listened. And again, it's growing pains, man. And that's the job of what I do, man. So it's like not really hindering their creativity or their drive, but also just to let them look out for the roadblocks, look out for the outside, so about the outside interference, outside noise. Because people always tell artists or creative, oh, you should be doing this, or I think you should be doing that, and that. But what is it that you want to do? What's your drive? What is it that you want to do? Not what cousin Sue said over here, or Ray told you, oh, you should be doing this, or y'all should be moving this way. Nah, everyone has a different journey when it comes to the music, man, and to the art. So my job is just to kind of keep all that in perspective. So.
Get your tickets now for the What's the People Thinking live music and spoken word improv experience with G Jones and D Hall at the MKT Place Gallery. We got food on deck, we got drinks on deck.
Gon' pull up a seat and pull you a shot, then head to the floor, give it all that you got. See my band gon' play and it ain't gon' stop till there's no one left in this whole damn spot. We gon' rock, we gon' roll, we gon' roll, we gon' rock, we gon' rock, we gon' roll, we gon' roll.
Is that ever difficult? Because in this world, like I feel like we probably have more distractions than ever before. So like, is it ever difficult to try to refocus the artist, or like I mean, like you're very hands on, but from what I noticed, you let them be them. So like, is that ever the fight?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. It's all, and it depends on where they are in their journey as an artist. Some mature artists that's been around for a minute, they'll take what you say, they'll take the constructive criticism, they'll take the I don't think you should do this, and they'll really take it in. A newer artist because artists and management relationships is a partnership. You know what I mean? A lot of times people think you get a manager. Oh, I got it together now. I got to be a manager. I'm about to start popping. I'm about to start moving. I'm going to get all the gigs, blah, blah, blah. And it's not that. It's a partnership. So sometimes a partnership takes time to develop trust and you really know that the manager has the best interest at heart. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge, especially when you get somebody that's so tunnel vision. And again, it takes some time for growing pains. It takes some, tripping and falling on your face, getting back up, maybe tripping again, losing a tooth this time, and you know what I mean. So then they'll be able to like kind of like get it to the point where you know what, I need to listen to what he's saying. You know what I mean? So experience is the best teacher, yo. So I don't know everything. I know a lot. I know a whole heck of a lot, but you know what I mean. I'm here to really give that information to the artists that I manage.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so now that now I gotta ask this question: how do you pick and choose the artists that you're going to work with? Like, how do you find the 3G squad? You know?
Well, I like for it to happen organically, man. Like I'm not that dude that's coming to the events looking for the next person to manage. Not at all. That's not me at all. I don't want to manage everybody at all. It usually happens organically, some conversations, and then I really feel like you gotta go with your heart, you know what I mean, and what your spirit tells you, you know what I mean. So that's how I kind of choose the artist, and it always happens organically. And again, I'm not that person to be able to go, like, oh, I want to manage this. Oh, G Dash, she's dope. I need to manage G Dash. No, that's not me. Because what happens is that becomes a responsibility. It's like you take
Mm-hmm.
on additional children for an example. So I have 4 additional children that I got some sort of responsibility for, some sort of accountability to. You know what I mean? So I'm not looking, but what I do look for when we have those conversations is like, where's your heart at? You know what I mean? What's your passion behind it? I don't care what genre it is, from hip hop to inspirational. I don't care, different drill music, whatever. Do you have a message behind it? You know what I mean? It's not even about if they don't curse or anything like that. That's not even important to me. But what's your message behind it? You know what I mean? You can say whatever as long as there's a message behind it. Because again, our music, man, we can dictate how people move through our music, and we hear it every day. How like people hear music and like the kids emulate it. They don't know this is just for entertainment, but have a message behind your music, no matter what genre it is. However you deliver it, you a person that's doing the drill music or whatever type of hip hop you do, or rock, or you do soul, jazz, whatever. Have a message with it, and that's all I ask for. Like, just have a message, and then not only that, outside of the music, man, be a stand up person, yo. I don't like to deal with no messy people. Be stand up with what you do, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes. But okay, and I'm sorry, every once in a while I gotta do this. Listen, y'all. Hey, you. I'm talking to you. See, because he dropped some gems here. I want y'all to know the gems that because you better have a message that's gonna equal longevity, because people gonna connect to your music, and if you're a stand-up person that connects to the message, listen, you'll have a long career versus you just being a flash in the pan because you ain't said nothing that made people feel away. All right, I had to talk to the people real quick. Just had to let them know. Now. So with that said, right, tell me a little bit about your roster, because you got a little roster now here. You got
Oh
a couple
wow.
artists here.
Well, so right now I currently manage uh, nice artist, young Seta. A lot of people know who he is. He's making a lot of noise in the area right now. Young, passionate guy. And it's funny, even the story how I met him. I was a judge for the auditions for Delaware Teen Idol. That's when I first met him. And then he did the show. A couple years went by. Somebody recommended, like, oh, you need to get with Shannon about management. We had a couple conversations, and we here today. So I have Young Seta. I also have Camille Johnson, who's an inspirational artist. She's probably the person I've been working with the longest. And I talk about people being at certain levels in their career. She's been doing it for a minute. She's established, so I don't got to be on top of her as much as I may have to be on another artist, because I know she's working. She's getting stuff done. For like I said, talking about the partnership, so she's doing what she needs to do. She gets her songs done. She presents them, and we go through that. So I have Camille Johnson. I also just a few months ago just took on Latoya Marie, who she is a whole problem. You hear me?
I do.
From not just vocally, but her energy, her presentation, man. You can't help but get into when she sings. Her crowd participation. So she's dope. So Latoya Marie, and I just actually took on maybe a month ago a band, Soul Synthesis. So they are doing stuff for a lot of different open mics. They doing recordings. They're playing for different artists. So they're a young band. So we're in the kind of the beginning stages right now. So just kind of come out our game plan, how we want to move going forward. So right now, that's my roster, man. So that's enough. I have enough on my hands right now with that.
Yes, you do. So speaking personally, because I hosted. Well, they don't know, but I hosted Seta's release party. I've done shows. I did a whole show, or at least a whole set with Latoya Marie. Got to meet Camille this week at Pink Gumbo and Soul Synthesis. Boy, they've been trying to find their way together for a little bit. So now it's dope to see they got a little name now. Shouts out to Tay's Music. You know he ready to go. The whole squad can really play. I tell y'all, he said he care about the messages, and he said that he cares about being stand-up people. The part that he left out that he really cares about is talent. Like, that is a true focal point to be a part of 3G management. Tell me about that. Why in the world where we can get a lot of microwave artists, right? People can make something pop. Why do you care about talent so much?
Because that's a good question. They definitely gotta be talented, man. And you gotta be honest with people. Like some people just ain't got it, man. I'm sorry. They just don't have it, bro. I mean, you hear them like, oh, I sing. Like, okay, you hear them like, okay, we need some vocal training, you need some stage presence, you need a look, you need a stylist, you need some other stuff. So I go back into the incubator a little bit and keep it moving and, you know, get yourself together and then come back out. Because I get people that hit me up all the time. Oh, I need a manager. I'm like, okay, what do you have to manage? Like, that's the thing. When people get a manager, like, what is it? And I don't mean to sound so wrong and so blunt, but it's true.
That's a fact.
Right. If you have nothing to manage, what am I going to do? Right now, what you need is a vocal training. You need something else to go along. And again, I kind of don't know. So that's one art form that has been missing in the industry is A&R, man. Artist development. That's missing because everybody sees everybody is making, because music is right now so accessible to anybody. You can make music on your iPhone. You know, go into your little garage band. I'm not plugging Apple, but anyway, go ahead and you get your little tracks, your little beats. You can record your vocals. You can do your harmonies, and you got something. But what is going to make somebody else want to purchase your music? What do you have? You know what I mean? You got to be individual. Like, it's okay to take inspiration from different artists, different people, but make it your own. So, you know what I mean? So it's just have to be able to really look at and be honest with their talent. So when I get people, they send me their stuff, I'm like, okay. And I'm the type of person, I don't like to let people down, but I let them down. You know what I mean?
Let them down.
When I say let them down, but I always like, well, have you thought about this? Have you considered this? Because sometimes, man, you can't shoot people's dreams down like that. But you know what I mean? But you can't I'm not going to embarrass me. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, if it's a brand that I'm creating, I'm not going to have something on the brand I don't think like, okay, I don't know. So again, you know, I do look for talent. It gotta be. When I say I don't look for talent, I don't look for it. But if it comes, the situation has got to be right. Like I said, it's got to be organic. It's got to be. You got to have something to work with. You know what I mean? So and be open to change and open to grow and open to. You have to be able to grind. You know what I mean? You got to put it in the work. It ain't all on me. It's a partnership. So
that I have to ask this question. Now I'm curious. I feel like in the world with no artist development, in a world where there aren't A&Rs, I feel like in a world where a lot of more artists are independent, I feel like a lot of those hats then fall. How do you stop from overloading as the manager with those hats? Or do you say, hey, as an artist, you got to have some of that before you come to me? Or like how does that play out?
Well, I look at it a lot. Like I said, man, those conversations that I have in the initial beginning, it's a lot. I like to see what your social media looks like and things like that. And what people got to realize, there's different types of managers. There's a business manager, there's a booking manager, there's a road manager. So as a manager, this is what I look at as being a business manager, which I am. I keep all the pieces together. So again, you need a publicist. I'll get you a publicist. All right. You need a studio to work out of. I'll get the studio to work out of. So I'm keeping all the moving parts going in the same direction so that you can remain a creative. You know what I mean? I always tell people, I say one of my weak spots as a manager, you got to know what your weak spots are. I'm not a booking person. When I say I'm not a booking person, I'm not that booking manager that's going to be online every day looking for shows and da-da-da. If I see it, I see it. But on that's not, you get some people, that's all they do. I got people that I know, like especially in Maryland, that go through this. All they're doing is searching the web all day looking for shows. And then whatever they get a cut of it. But so I keep from not wearing those hats because I know what I can do. I know what my strengths are, and it's keeping things together. I'm not a graphic designer. I can mess around, but we need a graphic person. We want to get a graphic person. We need somebody to write a bio. Okay, we want somebody to write a bio. You know what I mean? But over the course of my journey, I have learned to do some of that stuff. Like I learned how to do copyrights maybe 5 years ago. Before the artist I was managing, we were paying somebody to do the copyrights when it's so easy. It's so easy. It's so stuff that artists can already do themselves that they don't need a manager for.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I think people just don't really know the line a lot of times. A lot of times people don't know the difference. So now, and before I move past this part, how between the church and booking things and kind of getting into that world of getting into all the paperwork and actually having clients, how did you know that it was time to get your LLC and really have the 3G management company? Like, what was the sign that says, I gotta stop playing. I gotta get the company.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. So after I did the secular management with me and my partner, I did my own thing. So I started doing Christian management in the very beginning, and I managed like I said, a small little hip hop group of teenagers, and they were popping. If you ever familiar with a hip hop group called Cross Movement back in the day, they were hot like on a Christian hip hop. So I had a teenage group that was hot. I mean, on their heels, hot. And at that time, I ain't had no business license. I was just doing it. I was just doing it as a manager. But as time went on, I said, you know what? I need to go and get legitimate and do the paperwork. You know what I mean? So that's where that all started. And then people holding me accountable. I had another artist group that really has helped me accountable, man. We had the management artist contract agreement, and you know what I mean. They had their stuff together. I had my stuff together. They had the website. So again, holding me accountable. So stuff I had to learn, and going through some growing pains with them. Man, we got beat out of some money one time for an artist from a person that said they worked for some label, and you know we lost a little bit of money on that. But like I said, I only get burnt once, so that happened to me once. So now I check everything. Let's go email that we need to talk in person. So I learned going through the growing pains and working with different artists. So hopefully that answers your
So,
question.
no. You absolutely did. Okay, right. So now you got 3G management. You're working with the artist. You in the vibe, and you said to yourself, I should put together an event called Peak Gumbo. How did you go from managing artists? And I get it, right? But you just said you don't even like to do bookings like that. That ain't even your thing. So all of a sudden, you booking a whole show.
Oh man! So one of the things I say about management, until your artists get to a certain place, it's not really a lucrative business. When I say you make a little bit, but if you think you're going to get paid, quit your job off of management, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen right now. So I said to myself, I need to be able to supplement, even when I pay in licensing fees every year, the little bit of taxes, redoing your LLC, paying your fees and things like that. So what can I do to generate some income? I said, you know what? I know I do a show. So before I did Pink Gumbo, I did something called Heart of the City. It was a music new artist showcase. I did that a couple times. So then I said, you know what? I want to do something around a cause. And breast cancer was dear to me because my mom is a breast cancer survivor. I got some aunts that are breast cancer survivors. I have some aunts that passed from breast cancer. So that was a big passion to me. I said, okay, if I'm going to do something, it got to be around breast cancer. So I said, okay, pink covered breast cancer. And I thought about Gumbo. I don't know what made me think about Gumbo. Like, I mean, I'm going to tell you, man, sometimes I can be asleep or just sitting there and the ideas come to me. I'm like, hey, I got to write it down. And I know they God given ideas. Gumbo. I said, okay, Gumbo. We think of Gumbo, you think it got a little bit of this, got a little bit of that, got a little bit, you know what I mean? Got a little salt, whatever you put in your Gumbo is Gumbo. So I said, okay, create a show, Pink Gumbo, all female lineup, different genres. I'm like, okay. So it worked. Is it something that it worked? So I did it for 2 years, 2018, 19, then pandemics happened. So up to current, I did it this past Saturday. So that's the reason why I did it, man, like to tie it to a cause. Because again, I can support my love for music and support a cause and then present something do. Like I said, I tried to get different genres, but this year I wanted to do something totally different this year. My first year, I did it at the Academy Studios, a small venue, packed out, crazy. Second year, I did it at Christina Cartoon Arts, packed, crazy. My break, so I said, yeah, I got to step up. I got to step up. So me, my creative mind, I said, you know what? I want to turn this library into a whole situation, a whole situation. So I thought it out. I wrote it out. I drew out what I wanted to look like. I said, oh, I got to put a stage in here. And I saw some people like, you can put a stage in the library? I said, yeah. Put a stage in the library, and some lights stood up. Even for my birthday party, they had lights. I didn't have a stage, but so I wanted to do it a little bit different. So this year, not necessarily different genres this year, but I just wanted straight singers. Everybody I had on the show this year was straight vocal, talented beasts. I mean, everybody on the show was dope, and that's what I wanted this year, to present some quality talent, and then show people in this area that when you're gonna put a show together, you gotta put it together, yo. You can't half step on it. So I met a guy at Setta's album release who did some of the lighting, and we linked up. His name was Justin. He was just on here, but Justin from Illuminates. He said, "Man, I would love to help you with your event. You know, reach out to me." So I'm like, "Oh my God, like nah, I don't know him like that." But he stayed in contact when I reached out to him, and this was the first time that I actually went through a whole production walkthrough. Like we met at the library. He was signing stuff and doing all kinds of stuff, like showed a little 3D drawing on there, like how it would look. And he put together a production. So it was different for any show I ever did before, because typically I get my man to do sound. My man can do sound. He's dope. And he's dope. He is really dope. He'll do sound. Oh, my boy got lights. He gonna bring the lights. And the lights is dope. But this here was a production. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to step the game up and just kind of like elevate the presentation, man. And I think I pulled it off pretty well. And a couple things behind the scenes things that I wanted, but I didn't get this time around. But next year it'll be crazy though. So that's Pink Gumbo, man.
Yeah, okay. Let me back up a little bit, because I'm gonna tell you how much it worked, right? Because I didn't expect this, right? So when I when I go to events, I tend to take footage and I tend to add it to the to my story. So sometimes either I'm hosting or I'm just supporting my people. I post it, right? So I posted Pink Gumbo. Now, I do these things all the time, but it's rare that people actually reach out to me like, yo, what was going on? So, of all people, Maya Bellardo messaged me immediately after I posted one of them songs, and she just said, is that a stage in the library? I was like, that's a stage in the library. She's like, oh my God, I'm so good at this. And I was like, yeah, well, we're having fun, but you know what I mean? You gotta do what you do. But like, it was just one of those things because it was so kind of dope to have and dope to be creative and different. And now, mind you, I've worked with you, so I've been around you in moments where we walked into venues, and I've seen you get an eye, right? I don't know if you know that you get an eye, but you get an eye where you walk in and you be like, like you are building out the room. Like, how long have you been planning how that library would look?
I'm thinking.
G-Dash's Outside Options start with the Art of AI, prolific panel of artists, performance by Young Seda. Or hit the library and go see the Kims, which one, all of them, Whitley Colesfield's weighing. See what they saying at major books, just words you feel, speak words with the author and poet Chandra Furnell. You can tell it's Delta Sigma Theta's annual bash, Mid-County Lanes, find your lane, food and music. And the band at Finnegans, they came to rock your album release for Genesis Z and the Black Mambas. You wanna release some stress? October 28th, Kingswood Community Center, Black Yoga Fest. And they suggest you dress your youngin' for the Halloween parade. What's Princess Ariel, the Urban Artist Exchange? Adults keep your costumes for J Notes and friends, prizes, food, and music. Let the games begin. You want funny? Come see the Fenris Comedy Jam. That line up at Bar 13 guarantees some laughs. October 29th, try something new and don't be scared. Come out and watch them joust at the Renaissance Fair. October 30th, William Washington does a healing interview, one on poetry on IG Live, Sharona Q. While you stay in scrolling and YouTube in, catch Nitro Nitro's premiere, Rock Revolution. October 31st, when the ghouls come out, Northside for life, they got a haunted house. So pop out, it's Hip Hop-Halloween, dressed like Lauder Daughter to the 3rd annual Halloween block party. The open mic jam session, that's November 1st, the Wilmington Library, Delaware Music Network. And November 9th, the Holy Mic could get you right. Just David at Milk and Honey is known to speak live. life. My guest this week will be Carl Shaw. Come on, y'all. It's Hats Off with G Jones on IG Live, 7:30 Thursday nights. You see me, right?
Since after like February, after I did my birthday party. So since February, after I locked the date in, I was like, okay, I need to start figuring out what I want the aesthetics to look like. You know what I mean? If people don't understand, man, when you do an event or you do a show, it's important to what it looks like. I mean, down to what it smells like. You can't, you have a dope room and it smells funky. You're like, hold on, man, it smells crazy in here. So you got to have all those elements play a part in it, because I don't care if it was only 10 people in there, they can't say to the show that it wasn't presented well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So people, I think sometimes with event planning, especially in this era, we kind of like, we cut corners. And you've been around me. I don't like to cut corners. I'll be somewhere like, yo, G, this sound is trash. And it would be dope.
Yes.
If we can hear.
You definitely will.
I was like, it would be dope if we can see. Those are things. I remember you asked me a question one time, if I had to open a venue, would it be important to have food or would it be important to have lights and sound? I told you, lights and sound. Bring the food, get a food truck, bro. Again, so to me, it's that important that our presentation, man, at the end of the day, because people remember that, like, people that didn't come to Pink Gumbo, they talk about, I seen the video, it looked nice in there, the lights, da. It's the presentation, man. It's how we package what we bring to the table. So yeah,
that's a fact. I think you come to it with a lot of care about how the whole presentation is put together and how it looks, and that always matters. Like, a lot of people, we live in a world where all stage shows aren't put together with such care and such feeling. Are you ever conflicted about when you're trying to put together about not being able to get the things you want? How do you manage to, all right, you know what, I can't do, when you can't get what you want, to still be able to put on the dopest show possible?
It kills me though. Like, okay, I could be like, so for this particular event, I actually wanted on the backdrop. I had created something that I wanted to project on the back of it. I wanted the Pink Gumbo that I had on the flyer to project on the back. I couldn't get my graphic done in time, so I was kicking myself in the behind. Like, oh my god, you should have thought about that earlier. But stuff was coming to me like the week of. So again, like you say, you make the best out of what you have, man. But even if you don't have the resources to do it, because the truth of the matter, man, like, I put some bread up, cool. That won't happen next year. I'm going to have some other situations going on next year. But what I'm saying, because if I didn't have the bread to put it up, I would still made it to the point where it's going to be a memorable experience where people like came in and said, it was a total vibe. So if I couldn't have the stage and we had to have it on the floor, it wouldn't have felt the same, but it would still been a situation. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Okay. So now you put the whole Pink Gumbo together. You got artists involved. You got the whole thing. I am curious, what do you kind of see or plan for the next Pink Gumbo, or have you already kind of started that mental process?
Man, so the night of, I started thinking about what's next for that. Now, what I want to do leading up to Pink Gumbo next year, I want to do a couple other different events kind of leading up to that. So I got some stuff written down for that. But first, Pink Gumbo, man, right now I'm thinking about venue. Already thinking about where I want to have it at venue-wise. Because like I said, this past weekend, unfortunately, just so much stuff was going on. So I didn't have, don't get me wrong, I had a great crowd. But I think I could have more people if I didn't have to compete with some other things that were going on in the state of Delaware and the surrounding areas. Cool. So right now I'm thinking about venue. Where do I want to have it? Where's it's gonna allow me to create what I want to create? Because sometimes you get a venue, you can't do this. You can't do that. Make sure you don't touch this, and you can't bring this. And I don't want that. I would just give me, to me, man, if I can get an open shell, I can do whatever I want to do with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I did something at a gym one time, and you wouldn't have thought that you were in a gym. Had tables.
You did an event at a gym?
At a gym. So I did an event at a gym and made it so comfortable and relaxing. It was called Soul Food Sunday with 3G Management. And it was like, had a couple artists, had a live band, had food. It was invite only, and it was just like a real dope situation in a gym. So again, the spacing, man, where you can kind of create how you want it. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about venue already. I'm thinking about artists already because, like I said, this past one right here, y'all, like each show it just got better and better. But this particular one, because of the quality of singers that I had, and I had some singers. It was some other singers in the room too. They was like, "Yo, you cannot do this to another singer with all these singers like this." They got me wanting to go up there and grab the mic. Everyone was dope from Camille, Star the Songstress, Devon Neal, Latoya Marie, and Brayla.
Mm-hmm.
Brayla is a problem, man. Like everyone was so talented. So if that's my level right there, I can't go below that, bro.
That's a
So
fact.
sky has definitely got to go up from here. So I'm already thinking, man. Already thinking, as you say, I'm thinking.
Thank you.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I opened up today's show with Brayla, by the way. That's what, like, right before you got on, I had a little Brayla rocking because, you know, she on the streaming joint. So the world need to go and get familiar with some of that. Listen, she ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. So now, I can't miss this one. You talked about the smell of the room. Well, that room smelled like Chef O'Shea's food. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we had talked. You surprised me with that one. I'm gonna tell you what we had talked before the show, and you was like we talked a couple of days before at Live in Finnegan's, Delaware Music Network style. We chopping it up, and he was like, "Yeah, he might not be able to make it." I'm like, "All right, bye." Then I get there, and I'm like, "He ain't here, but his food showing the building." I said, "Oh, we got the O'Shea grill for 16. You can't get an O'Shea plate for 16 nowhere." Okay.
Right.
Oh no! What made you decide to still arrange that? How did like what was up with the O'Shea?
Well, you know, that's my little brother showing him much love, man. Chef O. You know what I mean? For those who know, he's on season 15 of Hell's Kitchen. You know, very well known chef in the area. So he was busy, y'all. He had like 2 weddings, a funeral, and my joint for Saturday. So he's like, "Nah, I ain't gonna be able to stay, but I'll be able to drop the food off." I'm like, "Bet." And that was good enough for me. The green beans came in there. He was the herb roasted chicken, the mac and cheese, and like you said, the aroma. It was just like, woo. So you know what I mean. And me, when I'm doing a show or I call myself in game mode, I didn't eat till afterwards, but it was still so good, bro. But you know, just making it something that people could like, okay, I got a good show, and like you said, a platter for $16, yo. You can't beat that.
Wow. So, wow. Listen, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it was delicious. The show was amazing. It was an amazing vibe. Super talented people. I think I'm gonna reshare, if not tomorrow, this weekend. I'm gonna reshare the show that I did with Latoya Marie because the world need to see that. If they don't see nothing else, they need to see because with mine, she was on the humble, chilling. She just stood up and hit some vocals, chilled back down for a little bit with your boy. Like, listen. Oh, so right, we had this conversation, right? We took us through. You did a lot, right? From being in the church and kind of managing it and kind of getting the acts together to really kind of managing acts and seeing what the game is like, learning these lessons to now having this roster and having this event, you know. And again, shouts out to your brother O'Shea, shouts out to the whole 3G management staff, Soul Synthesis, and shouts out to True, sorry, your brother as well, like your whole talented family. I gotta say, so is there anything, what advice would you give a younger version of yourself in 2023? So if there was a young Shannon just running about, acting up, living his life in 2023 though, because this world a little different, what advice would you give that younger version of yourself?
To remain focused, man, and stay around good people, yo. Like, you know, I can't even imagine being a young person in 2020. There's so many distractions, man. Me and my brother was talking, like, you know, coming up, man, like the whole internet, the phones and IG, TikTok, Snapchat, man. I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to focus as a young boy with all these distractions. So I would say stay focused, surround yourself around positive people, and also surround yourself with people that have vision, man, that can see outside of what you may see right now. You know what I mean? And people that are like-minded. Like, it's one thing for me to have all this vision and, you know, all this like, okay, I see this, or I can do this, and and somebody like, no, man, you can't do that, or I don't know about that. I mean, it's okay. I mean, but I don't need to be around that, you know, because I think anything that you put your mind to, you can do it, man. it might not happen right away. It might not happen next week, next month, next year, but if you keep going at it and keep striving for it, it'll happen. So get yourself around people that also challenge you. When I say challenge you, like make sure, well, did you think about this? Like, I love when me and you talk. We can be anywhere. We talk. This is like
Yeah.
always an intense conversation. You know what I mean? In between the jokes, but
Yes,
yeah.
yes. You know how to throw them for me to knock them out. I gotta watch you. And then listen, people don't know this, but like you wanted to be like I'm able to say slick stuff and move on. You able to say slick stuff and keep the straight face too, and then I gotta watch myself because now I be getting it. I'll be like, yo, he about to have me acting up in here.
Yeah, so we having those good conversations, but you also be like, well, what do you think about this? Or you know what? Have you thought about this? I mean, you called me like a couple of days before, like, yo, I'm gonna use some free game. Da 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 da. You gave me some nuggets. You know, so I was like, okay, took that in consideration. So those are the people that I like to be around, man. And like I said, I don't care what your goal is or what your vision is, or if it's concerning music, what your genre is. Man, just be passionate about it, right? And stay true to you. Stay true to your message. You don't got to box yourself in. You don't got to be like the next person, but just be individually you. You know what I mean? It's funny. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if I told you this, but I started writing a book. I haven't finished it yet. Just about giving like pointers, because one thing that I do as well as a major company, I do artist consultation. So I get some of the artists that want to call me and want to ask questions. So you're not going to just sit here and just get all the game for nothing. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. So I started a book, and what I do is like little things that I say to people, little sayings that I may say. Like I say something like appreciate the grind, so when success comes, you won't abuse it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people, if they don't got to grind for something, when they get some sort of success, they mishandle it. So stuff like that. I just going to think as a new artist. So I am working on this book. I gotta finish it. You know what I mean? But man, I'm just so passionate about it. And again, everybody's not going to like what you do, and and that's cool. But I'm straightforward and focused, and I just want the artists that I work with to win, man, all of them. So, yeah.
Yes, yes, I'm here for it. By the way, so there is, and I asked that question because yes, there is a young Shannon Lolley, little knucklehead running the street, acting up a little bit, and he needed to know that lesson. I hope this in the internet ethos just he comes across his path, and he learns to stay focused and hear all the gems that you just put out there. What's next for 3G Entertainment? For 3G
Oh
Management?
wow! So listen, real quick. So definitely, Young Sutter has a project out, a Riverside Story. You definitely want to check that out. Young Sutter will also be at the Delaware Contemporary tomorrow for the Art Meets AI.
That's a
Tomorrow
fact.
we doing we got a hit and run because we got to hit the Philly for a sound check tomorrow night, and then we'll be in Philly at the Story Factory at 7 o'clock for the Village open mic. He's one of the featured artists. And then I have Soul Synthesis. They're going to be at Chris Anthem's event on Saturday as well. Also, Camille Johnson has an album, a single that's out called I Want to Be. Make sure y'all download it on all platforms. Latoya Marie, listen, y'all. Listen. I can't say it enough. Her energy, and she's working on she's finishing up a single right now called Don't Play With Me. She did it at the Pink Gumbo.
Yes, she
So,
did.
so
Yes,
she's
she
about to,
did.
finish up that joint. So we're looking for that really, really soon. And again, man, like I said, just look for some other events coming up very, very soon from 3G Management, man. And you can always see me at the Delaware Music Network every first Wednesday at the library, and every fourth Friday in
Yep.
Finnegan. So
Third Friday at Finnegan's, we got Songbird. We get Ghetto Songbird, and the whole rock exploitation movement. They're gonna be at Finnegan's in November. Yeah, yep. The November 17th. It's the day before my show. So yep.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, man, support G show as well, man. So again, even if you can't, I always tell people, even if you can't come in, these artists put in a lot of work. Man, at least buy a ticket because you know, independent artists, local artists, man. People just support it. It don't cost nothing to share a post. It don't cost anything just to mention it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Just support them, man, because what a lot of times what we do here in this state here that they wait till somebody bubble up and get big, then they want to be get on their top a little bit. You know what I mean? But
Ooh.
why wait? Why wait?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So here
Yes,
we got the
I've seen artists currently post. There's a post going around that says, "My hometown isn't my target audience," and I was like, "Ouch." You know what I'm saying? Like it just made me feel like because it sucks that but and that do feel true for a lot of artists where they feel like home don't feel like my audience, even though it should be. Like these are the people who experience what you experience, but sometimes it's hard to get there. So that
right.
support matters a lot, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Real quick, just on that, man, and not to get like real deep and religious, but even the Bible talks about that a prophet is without honor in his hometown, man. You know what I mean? Even with us, we have these gifts, we have these talent, and sometimes your hometown ain't gonna get behind you till they see you moving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just unfortunate, and that's just if they did it to Jesus, how they gonna do it to us too, man? They're not gonna support you. Now you get some supporters that are gonna support you, win, lose, or draw. But again, sometimes they gotta see you really doing making some moves, man. And when they see you working, they get behind that. And again, it's too many. Yo, we got too much talent here just to be stagnant, yo. Like, and the quality. That's what I said, man. I'm big on the quality of events, quality of your presentation, even performance. You know, me and you are talking, man. Like you coming there, you rapping or singing over the whole song. Like, come on, man. You ain't. I mean, you're not working. So
Mm-hmm.
we got to set the bar, man. Set the bar, set the expectation, and don't give them a pass, man. But they got to be open to let us pull up on them and like, look, man, listen, you should do this. Make a show track. You know what I mean? But again, too many artists, these younger artists don't want to hear that. So because they the hottest on the north side or South Bridge or they hottest on the east side. They think they got it going on. They can't tell them nothing. So I just want people that are open to some people that's really believe in their craft, yo. No matter what the genre is. Like I love Gretchen Emery, man. I love her. She's so dope, man. Woo. But again, getting her pushed out, man. Like we got a lot of different artists, yo, and we got a gold mine right here in this state. So
Yes, and all right, and I wasn't going to do this, but before I have you give me a word, I do want to mention some things. But just because what you said was so dope, I'm gonna highlight something real quick, just so y'all know when y'all talk about 3G marriage. Normally, I don't get this type of plug, but that's my man's, and these people is dope. So when I say this, I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown on what you're hearing. Right? If you go to Young Seda, I'm gonna knock him out first. You go to Young Seda. Young Seda got the bars, okay? But now he got bars with a bop, but he clean. Right, it's very interesting on how it is. Like you gonna be like, you won't know that you're listening to clean. Some of the songs you ain't gonna know that you're listening to clean music. That's what make it interesting because you're just gonna be bopping and you won't even realize it because it's just gonna hit you. The beats is going not in even the production of how the beats were put together. Like that Riverside story got some real feelings in it, and he's a great storyteller lyrically, which can be missing in a lot of times. So that's Seda. Go check him out. Soul Synthesis. I'm gonna knock them out next because that band has been building themselves for quite some time. They can play into anything. When I say they can play into anything, they can literally, like if you watch them, right? You be like, somebody turn on Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hard. They're gonna just start to doing this. What you think? A little bit of that. Next thing you know, you're like, yo, they can play into anything. So shouts out to Soul Synthesis. I personally already think that Tavion's a monster. I've been told him that he got a whole little mindset that he can just think differently when it comes to playing. Camille Johnson, she gonna make somebody cry. Like you gonna she sing like you preaching. Like she just like that's just how the songs fit. Like I don't know. Like if you feel like you need a word and you forgot your Bible, turn on Camille. That's actually a fact. That's an actual fact. Where my Bible at? Somebody put Camille on. You go get the word. And last but not least at all, Latoya Marie. Now Latoya Marie sing like she kick her shoes off right before she in that singer that gets on stage, kicks the shoe off, and then she just be talking to you. But other people in the room, but she's talking to you. And
directly
it's gonna feel like her songs are gonna feel like they're personal to you. Like you're gonna feel like, wow, this connection is like this is the vibe. Like she just gets it. And that's not even mentioning the fact that her vocal ability is just out of this world. So that's 3G Entertainment. Just so y'all know, that's who they are. Now, with that said, I do a thing where I tell people, and it's hard for me to tell this to you because you see me do it a lot, but I tell people, if you give me a word, I give you a poem, and I say that so you can think of a word while I tell people November 18th It's me, my man D Harv. What's the people thinking? It's an extravaganza. We got the Harvey Road. I'm gonna take the songs he gonna give me, right? He gave me some songs, right? He got original records. We gonna weave it through. I'm gonna take that, mix it with my spoken word. We gonna create a whole storyline that's gonna take y'all through a journey that's gonna feel like, what am I watching? And then we know you're gonna get hungry, right? You're gonna be dancing. You're gonna be like, I'm hungry. Chef Rail got the grub. Get yourself a deluxe ticket or purchase on site. But Chef Rail got the grub, right? Seasoned by rhythm and heat. That's a fact, right? Got the rhythm and heat seasoning just to make sure it's low sodium. We want you to be healthy because we got a libation for you. Okay, that deluxe ticket includes a deluxe libation. What? The deluxe spirits. Okay, get your little sip on. And personally, if you're a partake, we also got a little edible included in the deluxe too, so we can get your groove on, whatever you like. That's the vibe. We outside at the MKT Place Gallery, November 18th. Doors open at 7:30. With that said, Mr. Lolley, Mr. 3G Entertainment himself, you got a word for me, sir?
You know, I always try to get you, right? So I'm looking at all the papers that I got around to find a good word for you. Hmm, compromise.
Compromise. Okay. All right. I'm thinking. So sometimes I've learned that too many people tend to lie to themselves. Like what they do is they try to convince themselves that they're moving where they want to go and they're going to get there alone, like they don't need help. That's where it's funny. Like to me, I'll be like, did you even listen to what you said that you wanted? Like if you wanted the best, then why are you settling for less? Like if you want to be different, then why are you acting like the rest? See, this is where I get confused because it feels like they're looking in the mirror and then adding a little bit of finesse. Okay, like I'm trying to figure out why even try that if you're going to always sit back and choose to fall back, but you say you want to be better than all of that. I guess you don't realize that being the best and being what you're supposed to be comes with a major drawback. Yeah, I know. That means it's going to come with some sacrifice, some sleepless nights. Sometimes you'll look in the mirror and feel like all the things you want, well, that's what you got to fight because what you need won't let you sleep at night. See, this is what it's supposed to be. I'm just telling you the real. I ain't trying to be right. See, I told you that a lot of times people will look you in the eyes and tell you just a bold-faced lie. And you're like, why? Well, because the truth sounds like something that's too hard to do. See, the truth sounds like, oh, yeah, I know it hurts you too. Like, see, the truth will make you think back like, really, how I'm going to give all of that? Matter of fact, I'm going to keep going even though I don't know where the cash at. Like, I got to walk by faith even though by sight is showing me all the wrongs. I know, but you see that. Okay? See, sometimes people are looking for the wrong thing. And then they're moving as if their vocals don't come with the right placement when they sing. And then they don't want to listen to those who've been through what they're trying to go through and don't realize that in front of them is the table and they don't see what they seem to bring. See, then when they don't get where they're supposed to go, that's when they look at you and they look at me and they seem all surprised. Well, you took this whole journey telling yourself and telling us different lies when all you had to do was listen to the truth and we would show you how you're supposed to compromise. Come on. I appreciate you, good brother. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here,
man? Listen, keep supporting, man. Look, go on my page, follow these artists, follow Young Sutter, follow Camille Johnson, follow Soul Synthesis, follow Latoya Marie. They're all on my page. And again, just support the arts, man. Support these local artists, man. Buy their music, share their posts. That's how we win all together. So. And thank you to G-Jones, man. Spell out the dash. You know, you gotta support this brother for what he's doing, man. He's always looking out, giving people shout out, and you know, the pose, man. He's dope, man. I just seen him really like do some dope stuff, man. We took a trip to New York, and the ride up was just. We supposed to talk about that one day too. The ride up was crazy. But yeah, so I appreciate you what you do, man. So thank you for having me on, man.
And thank you again for joining again. And shouts out to all that you did. And again, I'd be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, that where the proceeds went to, because that was huge. So again, shouts out to you for putting that whole thing together. Again, I'm G-Jones. Check me out. I'm here every Thursday, 7:30 with somebody new. Look out for the hat tip. I just posted the hat tip somewhere, so that'll be on YouTube or on Facebook. You'll see that. And I do your options for the week. So check me out tomorrow. I'll be posting out your new options for the next week or so. This your boy G-Jones. It's my man Shannon Lolley right there. Listen, love yourself first and enjoy the rest. I holla. Hey.